Good morning, American Jiu-Jitsu and American Jiu-Jitsu family. How are you? We are at SHODAN Black Belt, first degree Black Belt. This is tape 3. It's going to be 1 out of 4 tapes that'll make up our Black Belt curriculum. These tapes are posted every day on American Jiu-Jitsu LI Facebook group. There's only about a minute of it on Instagram because that's all they allow us. But then you go over to the Facebook group page, American Jiu-Jitsu LI, and you'll see the entire tape for the day. Also, every day we post these in full on American Jiu-Jitsu LI YouTube, and you can see a full library of all the tapes. It's a little overwhelming for some of the new students. Some of the older students, you can kind of pick and choose whatever you want to watch. Also, every day we have Zoom classes. To go to our Zoom classes, go to AJJCenters.com. You'll see the listing and schedule of all our classes. You will need a password. If you don't have a password, you can easily email me at osenseijoe@gmail.com and identify yourself, and I'll give you the password, or speak to another one of the American Jiu-Jitsu students who I'm sure will give you the password. Okay? So today, we're going to work on stick fighting, okay? Or what we refer to sometimes as arnis. It does have a Philippine base. I was lucky enough to have some Philippine instructors in my past, and there was a lot of similarities with the arnis that I learned, so I incorporated it into our system. Now, I want to be specific on that. I did train with Master Lanata and Juni Cagnetti and Professor Batistillon learning stick over the years, but we're a jiu-jitsu, a combative jiu-jitsu style that teaches how to use stick, how it incorporates into our system. We don't proclaim to be arnis masters, okay? We respect them and we appreciate our learning from them, but we incorporated it as we saw fit. So if there is something around to be used as a weapon, we're gonna be using it as a weapon, okay? We're going to first show you what we call Cinco taros, which is the basic 5 swings that we do. That's head, head, body, body, and body or face. Then we're going to show you a 2-stick swing, which is a double stick swing. What we're going to go over in this video is infighting with arnis. And the reason why arnis was incorporated in American Jiu-Jitsu is because of the similar movements, the Tasabaki movements and things of that nature. Obviously, if you're here live in the dojo, we would get into more of the history. Today, we're just going on to an overview so you have something to do at home and practice your skills. So the first thing we're going to do is the infighting with stick fighting. Second thing we're going to do is distance, where if we can't get in, we have to distance ourselves. Then we're going to go into disarming, okay, where we take the stick away, and then we use both sticks, incorporating that double stick swing. So the first thing that we do is, before we do that, I want to thank Shihan Billy and Shihan Kathy for being here. They've been here for the duration. First couple of videos I did myself, and then I really needed an uke, so they volunteered, and we're trying to practice our social distancing rules, which we do. We're more than 6 feet apart. Sensei Kathy and Billy live by, together. They're a married couple, and I'm a single guy who lives by myself, so we stay away from even each other, and we're going to practice these rules because that's what is keeping people safe today. And this gives you the opportunity to see both of them demonstrating these, which is very hard for me to do just by myself. All right, so first thing we're going to just show you is what Cinco taros, or 1 through 5. Cinco taros just means 1 through 5, what those 5 stick movements look like, and then we'll have them do it with each other. Okay, so these are not the defenses, this is just the actual stick. So right now, just face the camera and just practice. So this is 1, stop there, and that would be to the side of the head. Notice that when they strike on a downward angle, okay? So you don't want to strike flat, like chopping a tree, you want to strike on a downward angle. Number 2, again, struck to the back of the head, number 2. Number 3, to the lower part of the body, again, coming up on that angle. Number 4, same thing. And number 5 can go right down the center of the body. It could be the body, it could be the face, it's a poke, okay, or a jab. So now if they turn to each other and just showed you the striking to practice that, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, then use a parry to just move. One more time, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you look at those Cinco taros, those are also going to be the attacks. So the attack is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have a double stick swing. Shihan Billy will demonstrate just, you guys both do it? Yeah, do it both together. We call this 1-4. Now again, we're not in Arnie school. We don't profess to be in Arnie school. We are a jiu-jitsu school that teaches how to use a stick, all right? So we're gonna use this concept 1-4-1-4, which is how I refer to. Whereas if you had 2-6 in your hand to be able to swing that, we're going to incorporate that in the final techniques of this video. So that looks like 1, 2, 1, 4, right? Now do it together with each other. Okay. All right, so watch how it looks. Now this is the basic level of this swing. Perfect, perfect. Now, perfect. Now, when you look at that swing, it's a routine, okay? It's a way of learning it, and then, is there 2 more sticks I can get? Yeah. Then, when you do it yourself, you can have a little bit more flexibility. So in other words, we're showing it 1-4-1, 1-4-1, but then we start to incorporate figure 8s into it, and then you could use it however you want to use it to strike. So in the beginning, we show it to you in somewhat of a format, and then after that, you kind of get to free it up. But we always have to, I'm very big on having a system, not just haphazardly learning something. So again, what you saw was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you saw 1-4, 1-4, and then we also have something called figure 8 where we make them, and then we incorporate the 2 when we're striking and how we want to hit somebody. Okay? So again, the video is a preview or an overview of what it is you're going to see. Obviously, much more in the studio, but this will give you something to entertain. This is another thing that you could do at home against a tree, right? You could strike the side of the tree, side of the tree, side of the tree, side of the tree, poke it. You could do it with a 2-stick swing, so it can give you something to do if you have nobody to work with. Don't hit live objects. Like, don't say, hey brother, hey sister. No, don't do that. Hit a tree, have some fun, and learn these skills. What I will tell you with arnis is it's all about repetition, all right? When I learned with the Philippine instructors, they would make us do this for 1 hour until the stick became a part of your hand. We're not as strict here with this because it's only a part of what it is that we do. Like I said, we're not arnis people, we're jiu-jitsu people who use a stick. So with that being said, let's look at the infighting and the attacks again on 1 through 5. So we're going to do number 1 first. So from here, Tazabaki, he does what I call and name short path. He hits, moves away from the free hand, and now he uses his Cinco taros in the order that we just showed it, okay? From here and here. Now remember that in the beginning we want the students to use your Tazabaki, use that short pad, and then move around using Cinco taros. Eventually, when you develop your own identity, it doesn't have to be 1 through 5. It could be whatever you see fit. Do I want to strike to the face? Do I want to strike to the body? Do I want to strike to the groin? Whatever. But in the beginning, we try to keep it a little bit strict so we make sure everybody's following it a certain way. All right? Let's look at number 2. From here, strike, pokes the person, right? Then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Notice how he's always keeping the distance with the free hand. That free hand could have a knife in it, okay? But for now, we're having it as a free hand to keep out distancing away, kind of what we're going to have to do after this is all done, social distancing, right? We're going to keep that person away so they couldn't turn if they had a weapon and hit us. And we also want to use the fact that we have a stick in our hand and we have that length. Number 3 is just like 1, but a low version. Bang, short pad, pops right to the face, continues with the 1 through 5, Cinco taros all the way around. Again, keeping it strict. So he's developing that 1 through 5, stick fight, that striking pattern, and he's learning his Tazabakis to get off that line of attack. Number 4 would just be like the low version of number 2. So boom, he rolls it right in, right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And number 5 now he's going to use an inside block or a parry block. He's going to roll the wrist, roll it like what we call a windshield wiper, roll the wrist to the head, and then he's going to pull back and do 1 through 5 basic retaliation. So boom, bang, and then from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you do it one more time with this block instead of that one?
This block.
The drop down block like that.
Drop down.
The drop down?
Yeah.
So it's
Yes, roll, boom, right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, with that being said, like I said, I tried to keep things very, very systematic. This is how we teach it from a systematic standpoint, but there's so much other flexibilities with this. It doesn't make one wrong and one right, but to keep it more of a structured standpoint, of a teaching standpoint, that's why I'll ask somebody to repeat it, but there's many variations of the ways to do these things. Now, we're gonna do our distance. So when we always prefer to come in because we're an infighting arm, but sometimes that person will throw that big stick at us and we gotta drop down in avoidance. We're gonna use a left tazabaki with the stick above the head, and then we're gonna strike low, middle, high, and then again, move around with that Cinco taros. So as she comes at him, he drops down, strikes 1, 2, 3, and then comes around, moving Cinco taros away from the free hand and strikes just like so. So that's like what we call like an umbrella block. You went right down with that umbrella. Now number 2, same thing with that umbrella block, moves to the free hand, so he pops right away and moves and goes 1 through 5 all the way through. Beautiful. On number 3, as she attacks number 3, he's going to actually use number 4 swing to defend because he sees it at the last minute, and he's going to strike around 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So a lot of times people get that one messed up. As the person's coming at me, number 3, you got a back swing. It's almost like a tennis backhand. You got a backhand strike, and then we move around, okay? Now when she comes at him, number 4, he's going to use number 3. Boom, right, and move, ba, ba, ba. Yeah, okay? So you see that as he came at me, number 4, now he struck up. As he came at me, number 5, now he went here. So you have the drop down as number 1, you have number 2, you have number 3, and you have number 4. Now number 5, we're gonna move this way. So we move this way, and now we're gonna move this way, and now we're gonna go to the outside. So on number 5, boom, strike, he's gonna move around, and there's your number 5. That is your distance attack. Then on your disarming, now we are going to incorporate the defense of using that double stick swing because we're going to take the stick away from the person. So we're going to use 2 sticks to defend ourselves because we have 2 sticks. So it's very similar to number 1. We use the same movements that we use on infighting, but now we're going to have 2 sticks to defend ourselves with. So as he comes in with number 1, he grabs short pass here, comes out, takes it out, and now from here he could use his 2-stick swing and move around. Notice he has a little bit more flexibility now because he's incorporating the understanding and the use of the sticks. Number 2, he's going to grab it, take it away, all right? Boom. And every once in a while, somebody will say to me, you know, what if that person holds on to that stick really hard? If you notice when Sensei Billy came in, he was kind to his wife, but bang, that could be a strike to that hand, all right, to break that thumb really simple. All right, so we're being kind when we train because we respect our ukis, but on the street, we don't got much respect. If you're coming at me to hurt me, my respect now is later after I visit you. All right, so on number 3 is just like number 1. As he comes in, bang, grabs the stick from here, comes underneath, disarms the weapon, uses those strikes, working 2 sticks. Number 4 is like a low version of 2. Okay, bang, he's gonna grab it, pop, come around, strike, 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 and move. Beautiful. And then number 5, he's gonna go to the outside. We're big on going to the inside, but at the last moment, when we can't get there, actually go to the inside on this one. Yeah, you can go to the inside. So we're gonna come in from here, and now we're gonna use the butt. So that's another thing I didn't really talk about. All right, you have the tip of the stick, which is a great striking with those last couple of inches. You have the shaft, which a lot of times we might use to incorporate arm bars or neck cranks. All right, more than striking, more when we strike, it's more or less 2 inches. And then we have the butt. That's why when you have the stick, you should have about a 2-inch bottom here. So on this one, we're gonna come around and use that butt, bang, right to the person's face. And then we're gonna move in and use a 2-stick retaliation. Watch again. Yeah, bang. Chops into the hand, comes around, and makes the move. Exactly. All right? So, in this category, we have covered basic 1 through 5 retaliation, okay? Infighting, distancing, and disarming. We also incorporated our double stick swing. In combat jiu-jitsu, the reason why we're not very big on weapons is that we teach approximately 3 weapons. We teach the stick, we teach the kubitan, and we teach how to defend with a knife, okay? We do teach a lot of gun disarmament. A lot of my guys are at the gun ranges. but that's not really something I teach, so I won't say I teach that. I teach disarming of a weapon, a gun, a knife, a long weapon, whatever. But this is on the aggressive side, all right? And because one of the rules in jiu-jitsu, because we're not a competitive art, is if there's a weapon around, you need to be knowledgeable to use it. Now, the cool part about Arnis, and one of the things I love about it, is all of these techniques can be done with open hand. So if Sensei Billy was not to have the stick and Sensei Kathy was to come at her with number one attack, okay, and he wanted to take that stick away from here, he could use the same movement he used and take that stick away using it with open hand. So again, many years ago when I learned Arnis from Grandmaster Lanata, Remy Preces, Junie Cagnetti, Dennis Tierney, Bob Torres, all these individuals that are masters in Arnis, I was fascinated by the similarities of it and jiu-jitsu. So that's why we incorporated it, because we felt it was. But there are people out there that have very big organizations and very big systems, and we totally respect that, and we don't try to compare ourselves to that, because we only give it a certain period of time, because it's one thing that we do in jiu-jitsu. Our main thing is combative jiu-jitsu, but we always believe and teach that if there's a weapon around, that you need to be able to use it, and you have to have enough knowledge how to use that weapon. If you don't use it, it's going to be used against you. So this is the thick part of the fighting with jiu-jitsu. We have much more of it as we go up to the later degrees, the black belt degrees, but today this is the part for Shodan black belt. Three things, like I always say during this crisis time, is you just got to stay home, you got to stay healthy, and you got to stay safe. And this is the reason why we're making these tapes. We want you to be able to stay home and be able to watch something and still develop that mind. Remember, one thing is real important is routines. You got to keep doing what you normally do, because this is going to end soon. And what's going to happen is when we go back to our, what we call normal or new normal, we're not going to be used to that. So get yourself into your routine. Kids, make your bed, do your academics, watch your videos, keep your training. We'll be back on the mat really soon. We can't wait for that to happen. We really miss you, and we truly appreciate the support. Thank you so much for viewing in. Again, American Jiu-Jitsu LI Facebook group page, American Jiu-Jitsu LI YouTube, Zoom classes every day, 6 classes a day. Go on AJJCenters.com for all the codes. Email me at OSenseiJoe to get the password if you need to do so. And other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay home. Have a great day, people.